Hey everyone, it's Megan. Welcome back to my channel. Today I will be doing a book review, which is not something I normally do, even though I should be. I should be doing regular reviews, but I just don't have time for them. But in this case, I really wanted to talk about this book. That and because I wanted to do a review on this because it is the first ARC copy of any book that I've ever received. Candlewick Press was gracious enough to send me a copy of this book because I said that I love graphic novels and I love old movies. And so this book I want to introduce is Snow White, a graphic novel by Matt Phelan. So this book, which comes out on September 13th, is a new interpretation of Snow White. And so it takes place in the 1930s. The art style is watercolor with washes and pencil. And so essentially it's Snow White told in like 20s, 30s, kind of depression, New York City, and Snow White herself, I believe, is the daughter of a famous actress, or she's a daughter living with her father, and he falls in love with an amazing, mysterious, evil stepmother, it turns out, showgirl. And she captures his heart, marries him for his money, and you know the story of Snow White. As she gets older, she becomes more beautiful than her stepmother, and the dad dies. And in order to, I believe, keep the inheritance is part of it, but it's also, instead of the magic mirror, there's a ticker tape. So vintage, that says, like, you were not the fairest one of all. And she, I believe, hires a butcher, like, you know, like a New York butcher, to kill Snow White. So anyway, the story goes from there. When she runs away, she meets these 7 little boys, 7 little orphan, homeless boys that are running around New York City. And so they're her 7 dwarfs. I love it. I really enjoyed this book. I loved the artwork and the fact that it is used. Yeah, see, there's the ticker tape instead of the magic mirror. Like, just to give you an idea of what that is, I'm trying to remember what it is. It's like a machine that feeds you information. I don't really know how to explain it. I should have looked it up before filming this, but just suffice it to say, it's what tells her about Snow White, and she's wonderful. The character of the stepmother is wonderful. She looks kind of like Louise Brooks. If you don't know her, she is a silent film actress of the 10s and 20s, I believe. She had a rotten ending. But anyway, I will definitely say my favorite part of the story was the artwork itself. And the fact that while there isn't a lot of dialogue, like not a whole lot of dialogue, like I feel like there's necessary dialogue, which I appreciate. I more enjoy dialogue, I guess, than not. But at the same time, my favorite part about this was the fact that the author, the illustrator, used the pictures to tell the story, and that dialogue wasn't inherently necessary. Like, it wasn't necessary all the time. The pictures carried the story. And I think that's a very impressive feat. I think that's very difficult to do, but it was done very well in this case. I love the chapters, dividing the chapters, the chapter headings, the fact that they look like title cards from old movies. I love that too. So it was a very beautiful mixture of art, like watercolor washes, charcoals, pencils, mixed with the classic fairy tale of Snow White and New York City, based at that period of time that just feels very old Hollywood. Would I recommend this? Yes. Yes, I would. I wanted to do an honest review here. Like, there was nothing I really disliked about it, except that I personally enjoy more dialogue than not. But at the same time, I couldn't fault the story because nothing felt incomplete. It was all just told and supplemented perfectly with the images. The only little thing that I feel like didn't appeal to me was that I felt like the font didn't match the tone of the artwork. the font that was in the speech bubbles here, I felt a disconnect between the style of it and the feel of the story. I don't know what other font they could have chose. I don't know. It's just a weird little thing that I noticed about it, but it really didn't impact my view on the story at all. If you love Snow White and you love adaptations and like modern reinterpretations of it, I thought that this was very well done. So I would definitely read this if I were you. If you love fairy tales and if you love old movies set in the 1920s or 30s, I would definitely pick this up. I thought it was a beautiful marriage of old fairy tale versus new art and vintage Hollywood. I thought that was really cool. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed my review of this. If you, I would comment down below and let me know if you are thinking of picking this book up too. I'm kind of curious to see if this will take off on BookTube. I hope that it does, because I definitely think it should, and I definitely think that it is a book that should be enjoyed by many. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great week, and I shall see you soon with another video. Bye everyone.